Beautiful day here at my new parking lot spot outside of Crazy Horse. Yeah, is this lady crazy? She moved from a beautiful campground to a parking lot. Today, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into what's going on in my head and why I did what I did and why I do what I do. Hope you'll join me. Linda here, Serene and Simple Life. It is a day off. Been working all summer at Crazy Horse, and I'm going to be heading out here in a few minutes. But I thought I'd give you a little bit of insight as to why I moved again. I mean, seriously, I had a campsite that I showed you in the last video or last couple videos about moving from that full sun spot and all the chaos and activity that was going on there. And I moved to a dry camping spot down below, like a tent site, with a picnic table, everything cozy, greenery all around me, and was quite content there for a month. Yeah, it was a whole month. Wow. That's a long time for me to stay put. Before that, I was in my other campsite for May, June, July, August. Yeah, 4 months. Long time, long time. But I had electricity and water handy, and I did a whole video on that. But a couple weeks ago, my brain started thinking, you know what? I'm paying $6 a night here or a day here to stay at a dry camping spot. Yes, I had access to showers. I had my fridge plugged in for a few days before I had to move that because they had a new camper coming in. I had electricity in the office, and things, were working out where I still really had the amenities. But I got to thinking how I was really only there like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, most of the time inside Happy Haven getting ready for work because I didn't put my clam up down there at the dry campsite. I didn't want to deal with the wind, and it was all packed up, and I love being inside Happy Haven. And I had my picnic table and chair and all that, and then I'm only there about an hour in the evening. I was working till 8 o'clock, and then we went to 7 o'clock, and now we're 6 o'clock. And I would see, as I went to work, this parking lot with just a few campers in here or a couple SUVs or vans or what have you. And those were probably people that got a readmit pass, or they got in late to Crazy Horse, and so they parked here overnight. And I was like, the temptation to save $6 a day with my last 2 weeks of work was very enticing to me. All right. So a total of 12 days. So you're thinking, okay, Linda, 12 days times six, $72. You're giving up your picnic table. You're giving up the green. Well, I played it in my head for a couple weeks. I didn't just like all of a sudden say, yep, I'm moving here. But I would come to work and I would park here for a couple seconds and look around. And I was like, wow, look at this view. Look at this view, guys. And right below it is the Mickelson Trail, which I did go on twice, but I didn't video because I was just enjoying the day and the trip, and I didn't want to deal with my camera. I'll do a video later on my bike, but not now. So back to the $6 a day. And I thought, wow, that's over a tank of gas. I've bought some souvenirs. I feel sometimes like, oh, I shouldn't be buying this stuff. I want to continue to save money for when I need a new vehicle. I want to have a buffer for health reasons. I'm going to be spending money getting some teeth work done and maybe a little bit more landscaping when I go back to Happy Haven, or yeah, when I go back to Cozy Nest Cottage, tiny home. And so I was like, $72, that's a chunk of change. And I grew up with a father and a mother who watched their pennies, and dad always saying, you know, pennies add up and dollars add up. So I think it's just totally ingrained in my head. And do I know how to spend money? Of course. I've spent way too much money through the years. And I've talked about that before. Spending money on too much money on clothes, new clothes, expensive clothes, furniture, lots of things that I made mistakes on. But now that I am debt free, I really watch my pennies. It's like I've come full circle into a place where I should have been 20, 30 years ago. So anyways, so I thought, okay, an hour in the morning, an hour at night, that's for 10 working days. That's 20 hours. And then my days off, I'm doing some go see do activity. It is the mantra here, go see do. These little guys fell off Bunny Trail, so I taped them on. I have to re-glue them. Anyways, so I said, you know what? I'm going to run this by security. So I said to security, and they're not in charge of this parking lot. I asked the guy, I said, could I, I'm not exactly sure when I'm leaving here, when my last day is. Could I just park down in the parking lot? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And he said, and I'll let my team know. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, yep, been here for 6 days now. I love it. I love the little traffic noise. I love being near the trail. And I've gotten some magnificent views throughout the day and nighttime and early morning. And I'll put a couple of those at the end here. I'm content. I did take a few notes. The weather is changing, so I'm not hanging outside at the picnic table. I barely hung out the last month. I was either in go see do mode or going to work. So should I have been at a dry camping all summer? Not necessarily, because I did enjoy my fridge and having organic fresh eggs and Greek yogurt. And I brought things from home that I told you about. I had pieces of salmon. And so I really enjoyed my fridge. But as the season progressed, I don't need any more than a parking lot with a view. Okay, what else? Yeah, it just feels like that this is either helping to pay for some money I've already spent, or if I go out to eat, dang it, I'm going to boycott that again pretty soon here. But I've really splurged like 12, 14, $18 on some meals. Yeah, I'm supporting locals, but I'm over it. Like fish and chips, $18, a pizza, $12. I got a fish tacos one night, $14. I'm getting takeout. It's like that's not even with a tip. That's just insane. So feeling a little bit guilty about spending, going out several times. And besides that, I'm just happy to be away from the campground. The manager told me I could come back and shower. I've not really used the shower like people sometimes shower every day. Well, that's not me. So I feel like I've banked some shower credits. But he's like, yeah, no problem. And I did my laundry yesterday. So it's no biggie. I'm like, instead of 10 or 15 minutes from work, from the time I get here and park and walk up to the job, right now I'm like 5 minutes. So that's fun too. I'm just having fun with it. I'm really just having fun with shaking it up. And I like sitting here in the evenings. I like driving down the hill, and here I am. Like I don't have to go anywhere. I'm right here at work. All right, guys. I really again, wasn't utilizing the space over there at the dry camping area. I got tired of looking at stuff underneath my picnic table. Everything is dirty and dusty. And now, with this remaining 2 weeks, everything is all nice and neat and tidy in here. Everything fits. I got an Amazon order with some snacks to go, like beef sticks and Lara bars, and a big bag of organic raisins, and a bag of walnuts, and some organic chocolate chips, no sugar. And so everything fits and it's cozy and tidy. I have my water, I have my power banks pretty much powered up, and I'm a happy camper. All right, put in the comments, do you do stupid stuff and crazy stuff like this? Not stupid, and plan ahead. I feel like my last day of work, which is coming up really, really soon, I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to drive off into the sunset again. So lots more to come. I am headed to subscribe, click the bell, and give this one a thumbs up, and you'll know where I'm headed. Thank you, guys. If you want to go back and see some of my campsites and some of my go see do moments, then they're there for you to watch. All right, I appreciate you. Blessings in your day, joy in all your changes and all your thinking it through and saving money, and joy in your journey.